Welcome, Crusader fans, to another edition of the Valpo Coaches Show. This week, joined by women's soccer head coach John Marovich. John, thanks for being here.
Oh, glad to be here.
Haven't had you on since right before the start of the season, and so let's just first look back at kind of the entire early season part of the schedule. Obviously, not as smooth as last year's. You know, you knew going in you were going to play a couple big, tough teams to start off the year in Notre Dame, Northwestern. You did get a nice result on the road at Miami, but a little scuffling here lately. What have you seen from the early part of the season that makes you excited going into league play, and then conversely, what does the team still need to get better at going forward?
Well, the preseason was exactly what we had hoped it would be. Although people look and make decisions on who you are based on your record, we worry about our process and our performance. And to get one of the first three games, which were all top 75 teams in the country, and all on the road, that was fantastic. And most importantly, it was about finding out who we are and what we can become. And I think we've definitely found out who we are and what we can become. And so now it's part of the main part is the process of getting ourselves to what we can become. And that's not going to happen in a week or 10 days. It's going to be a season-long process. But I think we're in a really good spot. I think the way those games played out, the adversity that we had to deal with being on the road, is exactly what we could have hoped for. And anytime you go through and everything's smooth sailing, you don't really learn much about yourself. So I think we've done a great job of learning about who we are and what we can become.
Looking back to this past weekend, you open up the home season at Brown Field. You had Eastern Washington Friday night, Bowling Green on Sunday afternoon, and it was kind of one of those, you can look at it glass half full or half empty kind of things, I guess. You look at Friday, obviously you lose with 90 seconds to play, generate a good number of chances, 13 shots, 10 on goal, and then Sunday, one of the highest shot totals in program history, 32 shots, 22 on goal, yet you only find the back of the net once, end up in a draw. Which way do you look at it when you're looking at the game and then talking to the team about, do you look at it glass half full, hey, if we keep generating 32 shots on goal in a weekend, we're going to score eventually a good number of goals, or is it a case, hey, we obviously have to get better at finishing if we have this many chances and only score this few goals?
Well, I think you got to look at it from again, the overall process part of it. If we're taking 13 shots and getting 10 on goal, yes, we would love to finish at what the top teams in the country do, is right around 20%. 18 to 22% is about what the top teams in the country will finish at. So we would have expected ourselves to score at least twice on Friday night. And to be fair, we had some chances. We just didn't put them away. So from the competitive side of us as players and as coaches, yeah, we're fired up about that. We want to get better at that, and we're not happy with that type of a result. But the realistic part of it is that I'd rather have to deal with fixing the finishing side of things and getting better at that, because it's a lot like baseball. You're going to get your hits eventually. So I'm looking forward to when our hits come in. So we're excited about the fact that we can put 13 shots out and 10 on goal. And to be fair, on Friday night, it was great because I thought Eastern Washington played a great game. They're a really good side, and they forced us to have to keep our possession, but keep it faster because of their pressure, and I thought we did a great job of that. So we can look at that and say, oh, we didn't score, but yet I thought we actually got better on Friday night because of the opponent. And then on Sunday, that's just unfortunate. I mean, the goalkeeper made some big saves, but again, the competitive side says, oh, that has to be better. But at the end of the day, I'm looking forward for us getting hits.
Well, going forward, you got two more home matches this weekend at Brown Field. Friday night, Wright State, the Horizon League opener. Then you step out of league play again on Sunday against Indiana State. Where do you see the league at this year? Obviously you come into the year coming off the great season last year, picked to top the league this year. Obviously it's not going to be that easy, though. It's always tough to go undefeated. Last year was a remarkable run. Where do you see the other teams in the league, and where does your team need to get better to make sure we stay atop the table this year?
Well, the Horizon League is always very competitive. If you look over the history of the league, you're going to see it's a couple of points between first and second. It's a couple of points between first and not qualifying. So there's a lot of parity in the league. There's a lot of competitiveness. There's a lot of nice players and a lot of really well-organized teams and well-coached teams in the league. So for us, it's all about us being really good at what we do and being efficient in the finishing. that kind of seems to be the last piece for us. We only have so many days from the time we arrive to the time we have to start playing our season. So it's very difficult to get your team to be playing at a very, very high level in such a short period of time. So what we do is we look at the preseason and then the non-conference season as kind of two different time periods before the conference season. So I think we're just now starting to get to a point where we're starting to find a little bit of a rhythm, and you start to see that with the performances this past weekend. And so as we continue over the next several weeks, we hope that the finishing will be there, and that will help us get some results within the league. But every one of those games is a gigantic battle, and the whole conference season is the war.
Well, you can come out to Brownfield Friday night, Wright State, 7:30 p.m. Indiana State Sunday at 1 p.m. Both games, if you can't make it out, will be streamed live on ESPN3.com. Coach Marovich, good luck this weekend, and go get some points in the league.
Well, that's what we're planning on. Thanks a lot, Aaron.
You can keep up with the women's soccer team on Twitter at Valpo WSO, on Facebook, Valpo Women's Soccer, and for all your athletics news, Valpo Athletics on both Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, I'm Aaron Levitt. Go Crusaders.